Nama Bud, hi. Lauren, watched your video. I've just recorded the best 18 minutes of my life and then wiped it off the screen. I apologise. I'm going to have to summarise what I said because unfortunately I suck at this. This is the first video response I've ever put out. My name is Jay. I live very near Manchester in the northwest of England. I converted about 2 years ago and I know exactly where you were when you recorded this because I remember feeling a lot of aversion, a lot of frustration, resentment, bitterness towards people, especially in sort of quite sort of city centre, December the 24th type scenarios, just awful. People just running around trying to buy things, desperately trying to sell things so they can get the money to buy more things, to give to people. And why are they giving? You know, like you said, you addressed the issue of why they're giving. Is it because they want to see someone happy, or do they want to be affirmed, liked? You know, I became quite judgmental, quite bitter. Father Christmas, Santa Claus, to my transatlantic brothers and sisters out there, became a poster boy for ignorance and craving and suffering, you know. And I was really struggling with a lot of aversion, a lot of feelings of people suck, damn it, people suck so bad. And I was really annoyed with just this, what I saw as senseless consumerism. However, there is hope, there is a way around this, a couple of sort of different angles. I won't take 18 minutes like I did last time. I think I had some good points and I'll try and record them. But firstly, I went to my local Buddhist centre, asked one of the guys there, and he said, well, maybe just see it as a tradition. Yeah, this is the country we live in. If I grew up in Saudi Arabia, from the age of 3, then I'd be celebrating Eid with all my Muslim brothers and sisters. Even though it's not my personal choice in my religion, it's not what I believe in, I would want to see them happy. I would want to see them smile and celebrate the end of the fasting, depending on which Eid it is, of course. And yeah, I think it's easy to get confused when we're talking about other religions, like your mum said. You know, like, is that the one with the cows? You know, and like, you know, the eye thing and the scarves. Yeah. Obviously, cows is Hinduism. Then she put a pinch of Islam in there. As I'm neither a Hindu nor Muslim, I will stop talking about things that I don't understand and go back to talking about something I don't fully understand in the slightest. We're all beginners. That's the other thing to remember. We're all beginners. Buddhism doesn't use terms like right and wrong, good and bad. You can't be a bad Buddhist. You know, you can be an unskillful Buddhist. You can create more suffering in the world, advertently or inadvertently. But I think something, I don't know. See, again, I'm not good enough to put things on the bottom of the screen that reads, you know, sort of, I suck, or hey, I should have done this properly. I should have thought of this. I don't tend to do that. So yeah, in terms of Christmas, in terms of being a new convert, we're all new Buddhists. The founder of the FWBO, the Western Buddhist Order, now called Triratna, we believe that we're all new Buddhists. Like Suzuki said in his book Beginner's Mind, you know, we are all beginner's minds. You're not going to... It's going to take time. It'll take basically between every day, between now and the day you die, for you. It's a path, it's a process, it's an evolution. And that's what Buddhism teaches us, is that it's an evolution of states of mind, it's an evolution of consciousness, of the individual and the collective. And so, yeah, I think as long as you're pointing in the right direction and you can see the connection between love on one hand and generosity, the idea that, that in some sense, when we really peer through to the insubstantial nature that underpins reality, that, that there is no giver, there's no fixed me to give something. There are no things for me to give. I could post you this book. I'd love to. It's brilliant. Sangharakshita, he's the founder of the Western Buddhist Order. I could post you this thing and you'd get it, and it'd still just be a thing, composite and finite, and completely lacking a fixed entity. I take the pages out of the book. There is no book. It's the sum of its constituent parts, and utterly dependent on everything else around it. So when we see the interconnected nature of things, we realise that there's no giver, there's no receiver, there's no gift. You can just have a sense of oneness and wanting to see your family happy. When I was younger, I just tended to go through my CD collection and my DVD collection, look at what I didn't want, what I could pretend I bought second hand. So, Mum, Dad, all my brothers and sisters, I'm really sorry. That's what I did for years. I'm really sorry. It was very unskillful. It was not cool. It was really cheap, and I was only doing it because I didn't want people to know how little I cared about the holiday period. Because I was looking at it through the wrong eyes. Much like Mr. Scrooge. It's time to reach into a man's pocket, etc., etc. And Charles Dickens, a wonderful line in A Christmas Carol, where his nephew Fred, Scrooge's nephew, says, I've always seen Christmas as a time of year where we see our fellow man not as separate vehicles, but as fellow travellers on the path to the grave. And I think there's something really beautiful about that, about looking into the way in which we really have to live the moment. There's only two certainties in life. That right now, I will die, and that the moment of death is unknown. And I think even if I contracted a terminal disease and was living with palliative care, end of life scenario, I think they call them, I still wouldn't know exactly when I was going to die, only that it's imminent. But it's imminent now. So we really only have this present moment to kind of try and be more skillful, to generate more positive senses of mind. Now is the only place we can live, and whether now is early May, or whether you're watching this and it's a week before Christmas and you or anyone else out there is freaking out because you do not know how to deal with materialism, consumerism versus your newfound path as a new Buddhist, as we all are. And firstly, be kind to yourself. The first precept is be kind to yourself, be kind to others. Don't judge them. There's no value judgments in Buddhism. People go out and they buy things, and they buy presents to kind of one-up on their neighbours, or they buy presents to make their children happy, or to remind someone how much they love them. I know it's just too easy to kind of hold wrong views on this. It's too easy to be quite judgmental, and just go at it. You talk about the cookies. Well, save up and buy all the cookies. Buy the greatest cookies on earth. This year I got my family or last year should I say, I got my family to choose a charity, to donate to it, and to scan me and email me a receipt or put it in a card. For presents this year, I thought I tried to transcend the object a little bit. Went back to mixtapes. Some of my friends' favourite tunes from back in the day. I spent a good couple of days putting together mixtapes for my friends from good times we've had over the years. And, I wanted to give my family things, really primitive but fundamental things, like the gift of light. Got some really nice, I made up some candle sets for them. The gift of warmth, I got my little sister some microwavable slippers. They don't have to be expensive. It's dana, generosity, in Buddhism, is very much about trying to overcome the sense of, here is a thing which I currently possess, and then you will have, and then some kind of shift in power in our relationship is going to take place. That's not cool. That's not skillful. You have the power mode, and you have the love mode. That's two ways we can relate to each other in this world. Power mode is about what can I get out of this situation, and of course the love mode is very much the opposite. It's not about acquisition or retention of things or objects or emotional states or status or anything like that. The love mode just wants us to explore space, both inner and outer, in peace. And I'll end on a quote by Sangharakshita from, again, the 10 Pillars of Buddhism. It really is astounding. It's only that thick. Get one off Amazon. It's amazing. Well, I think so. Saying it's amazing is a wrong view. In my opinion, I found it useful. And if I remember, on page 64, which I will find now, again, going back to the Walt Whitman line, behold, I do not give lectures or a little charity. When I give myself. I really like that. And Sangharakshita then goes on to say, talks about the link between love, the first precept, kindness and metta, and the second precept, the precept, the principle of generosity, or the abstention of taking and not giving, which is of course the inverse of generosity, giving being not taking. And he says here, Sangharakshita says, love gives itself. That is, love is a self-giving of person to person. Generosity is a giving of property to person and is an expression of love. Indeed, where love exists in its fullness, there is no question even of generosity, because love is, in the last resort, incompatible with a sense of ownership, and therefore with property. And love thinks not so much in terms of generosity as in terms of common ownership and sharing. So share the cookies, share the moment. Every single moment is precious. And yeah, just think, I live in the West, we're all subject to conditions, I'm not going to judge anyone, I'm simply going to live the moment, be kind to myself, like Scrooge does, look back at all those little steps that took you to where you are now, exploring the Dharma, exploring Buddhism, and just feel a sense of awe and gratitude that you're so lucky, you are in such a minority, that we're even having this weird communication. Not just you, Lauren, but anyone else out there that's struggling with Buddhism. I might do more of these if I learn how to suck less at them. So yeah, everyone take care of themselves, and yeah, when you give yourselves. Sadhu, Namo Buddhaya, and lots of metta to all of you. And if you're reading this or watching this before Christmas, have a lovely Christmas. I do mean that. Have a wonderful time. Live it up. See you soon.